Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Elias, and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode Skyblock. In the last episode, we got some really cool bees. We got the Spectral Bees, which have a really cool ability of, what is it actually called? Reanimation, which allows us to reanimate mobs from mob drops. But not the one we wanted. So we were trying to use this to get what am I trying to say? We were trying to use this to get the dragon to respawn without having to do the draconic evolution stuff. And while this does work for some mobs, it does not work for all mobs. We need the next tier of bee for that. So we were also working on, what else were we doing? We were automating some stuff. By the way, I made a big mistake. This is the thing to make the emerald, what are they called? The emerald tubes things. Electron tubes, there we go. Right, that's what they're called. I don't remember. Yes, emerald electron tubes, which we need in order to make the vibrant capacitor banks, which we should have 6 more of those. I completely forgot to hook that thing up to power, so I was waiting on things I was expecting to have some more vibrant capacitor banks in the ME system, and they didn't show up. I didn't know why. That's why. So yeah, we were working on trying to get things charged and basically doing things with dragons so that we can get more draconium. So first of all, I wanna mention the reanimation stuff. If we grab some rotten flesh, which we showed this off last episode, if we grab some bones also work. And the last thing, which I wasn't entirely sure, is blaze rods. So if we grab all this stuff and bring it over here with these bees activated, we can throw this down and it will, of course, I want to continue spawning them in. They will create, well, the reanimate stuff, which is kind of cool, kind of bad, because anytime the mobs drop anything, which they will with the looting sword, you'll have a little bit of a cascade. Whoa, wow. A cascading effect, because you'll keep getting more and more mobs unless you can pick everything up, which is really cool. It's a great way to get experience, and then blazes are the last ones. And yeah, we need to kill them as soon as possible so that we can pick up the drops and they don't, come back. So yeah, those bees are really cool. But the bees we want are the next tier, which I have an Ender Princess and the Spectral Drone. That's all we need. We just dump these 2 in here and we get the Phantasmal Queen. Now, we're not going to immediately use this guy in the end. There's a couple things I want to do first. Specifically, I want to do this so we can get all of the different effects that we want. We're going to prep some stuff. So we have our crossbow. I was leveling it up a little bit, but I want to improve it a bit. Now that we have a lot of supplies, a lot of just everything, it'll be a lot easier to kind of handle this. So we're going to do a little bit of work with that before we head to the end and spawn in the dragon some more. Now, the Phantasmal Bee works with other things. You can reincarnate. Let's actually show this off. So it's resurrection rather than reanimation. Resurrection works with Enderman, spiders, gas, cave spiders, creepers, and the dragon, which is what we want. So let's get on to a couple other things. First of all, let's upgrade our stuff. We're gonna take some quartz. And we're gonna want some, let's see, do we have any mossy? No, we're gonna want some stone, and a chisel, and we're gonna upgrade the steel bolts that we have. We could also, Yeah, we could make manual bolts, but honestly, these will be fine. So first things first, we want to chisel this into some mossy stone bricks, which we can then use to make balls of moss. And this is the first thing we're going to put on our bolts, which will let them basically auto repair and regenerate. Then the next thing we're going to want to do is put as much quartz on this as possible. Let's just do that. And this is going to be kind of annoying, but we want to up the attack of this as much as possible. And let's just get a bunch of blocks so that this is a little bit better. More modifiers means, well, stronger. And that's all we can put on there. So this will do a little bit more damage, auto repair to get more stuff, and then we're going to want to put a bunch of redstone on the other guy. So 10 redstone each time, what we want to do, and this will just speed up how quickly this thing shoots. So it's down to a 0.8 second draw speed, which is pretty good. Now we're not going to constantly use this stuff, but I figure for farming the dragon this will be good enough. Just using the plastic crossbow and our steel bolts should be good enough just to kind of deal with that. Later, if we want to take on a Chaos Guardian, which I don't know if we will or not, we'll want to upgrade our armor, we'll want to upgrade our sword, and we'll just get the Draconic bow as well. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make, so I have a whole bunch of transfer node energies. I want to make a bunch of, well, I want to make more culinary generators. So we're going to make 2 sets of these guys. And in order to upgrade these guys fully, we're going to need 2 pieces of bedrock. So we'll get this going. That'll take just a little bit of time. And we just need 8 of those. And then the other thing that I want to do is I want to see how bad it is to make the cryo-stabilized flux ducts. Now these things are super duper useful, but they're super duper expensive. So what we're going to do is I want to put them here. We're going to want like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to want about, let's say 16 in total. But these things are going to be really, really painful to make because they require ethereal glass. Everything else is actually pretty easy. We'll need some Enderium gears. That's not too much of a concern. Do we have... Okay, we don't have anything special, but if we look at this, like, we need to make these guys, which requires petroleum dust, which is actually really easy for us to get. We've captured a basalt, however you say it. So that's not too much of a concern. Let's get like 30 of those. That is auto-crafted, so that's not too bad. Do we have the bedrock yet? We do. Alright, this is going to be painful for a second. So these guys go in there. And like that. We'll get the hyper energy transfer nodes. So why do I want this stuff? Well, basically, actually, this will be 32. That might be good enough. And this is full, so we could use that. You know, let's just make, for the time being, a couple resonant. And then if we want to upgrade these later to the cryo-stabilized stuff, that'll be fine. So why do we want the resonant stuff? Why do we want to upgrade this stuff? Well, power transfer. If we want to make this guy super duper good, we've got to get the power out of these guys faster. So what we're gonna do is just replace this with better stuff, and it'll transfer more power more quickly, and that's what we want. So this is going to make it so that we can energy infuse stuff better. The reason why we might want the cryo stabilized stuff is because this is infinite RF transfer, so there is no limit whatsoever, and it's amazing. So if we are done making the transfer nodes, which we are, we can go ahead and upgrade our cryo stabilized stuff, or rather, no, culinary generators. There we go. Mixed up what I was talking about. Oh man, it's one of those days. Anyways, we can get these guys hooked up, and eventually we'll want a bunch of this stuff, but for now, let's see, let's go ahead and light things up. We'll just want to do something like that, and I don't want that connected, but of course I don't have my crescent hammer on me, because why would I? So crescent hammer, I realize we should probably sleep. I don't have any upgrades on the bees to like work through the night or anything, so I want to get a couple of drones before we head to the end, just because things can be bad. So anyways, we're gonna get a lot of power from this. We need to get some power from these guys, and this thing can now transfer 250,000 RF per tick. Not too shabby. So let's get the resonant flux ducts and put some of this stuff away. So hopefully this will make making the the draconium blocks, the charged draconium, a little bit faster. So this is already, actually it's not that bad, because these guys only output 3,200, so that is what, about 16,000, and these guys transfer 32. So we can go with this for now, but later we'll want to kind of make sure that there's plenty of stuff kind of going around with the like making sure basically that we have enough power. Anyways, let's go ahead and put the Bealizer away. We don't need that right now. How are you guys doing? 26%. So it's gonna be a little bit before that's ready. So you know what? Let's get rid of all this stuff and start looking at what we're gonna be doing. So once we get a bunch of draconium, which this is the sole reason we're doing all this, we're gonna need these draconic flux capacitors, which requires a bunch of draconic energy cores, which requires a bunch of draconium. And honestly, killing the dragon is probably the best source of draconium. We have a little bit of it, but not that much. We do have a dragon heart. We can get some more awakened draconium if we need it, which we are going to need this stuff. So awakened cores, yeah, each awakened core requires a block. So we're gonna need what? Let's see, there's 5, 10, 16. Each one requires 4. So each one of these is a dragon heart itself plus a little bit extra. Oh boy, that's gonna be a lot of fun. So we're gonna need to kill the dragon a lot. Luckily we have automation set up, so once we are there, it won't be a problem. So we have the magnet on. Do I want to be risky? We do have everything to make more bees if we need it. So you know what? Let's just go for it. The biggest thing I'm worried about is losing the bees. So before we do, actually, I just want to show off real quick that this wand is very quickly filling up. It's full of earth and almost full of everything else. This system down here is actually working quite nicely, if not slowly. Like it is slow. Every so often it switches, so when it switches to earth it's useless, but that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. So let's take our Phantasmal Queen to the end and let's fight ourselves a dragon. Now I don't believe that this has to be done in the end. But honestly, it's just as easy as anywhere else. So we have armor, we have things. Okay, we should be fine. So I have everything here so that it will work. So all we have to do is do this. And I'm assuming at some point. Alright. Let's just put him there. So there's a dragon egg. Why is this not working? Is this disabled? Because if that's the case, that's really annoying. It could be. But alright, let's take off our magnet for a second. Alright, so that's working and it's almost instant. Alright, let's pick up this for a second. Let's put it directly next to it. Now. Oh, right. Okay. So I'm doing this wrong. We need to... Oh, man. Sorry about this. I actually understand what's going on. I know what I'm doing wrong. It's fine. This is an easy fix. We're being fairly silly. So let's do this. Break that. And we need to have the dragon egg as an item on the ground. Also, that torch is now forever hidden. So we're going to put this here. We're going to put the bee in there. And I wonder how fast this will work. Let's throw it that way. There we go. Let's take our bee out. And there's the dragon. Alright, so that works. So you have to actually throw the item down. But that is so much easier than dealing with the whole, you know, having to... Hey, come back here. Having to do the, like, rituals and all that fun stuff. The only, like, bad thing is that it's going to be super duper annoying to farm this. Oh, come here. There we go. We have Draconium, we have everything awesome. And let's get all this experience. It makes another portal with another dragon egg. So we just do the same thing constantly, and we'll have what we want. So, oh man, that was actually successful. We can now infinitely kill the dragon. I'm not going to do that on camera because that's really boring. But that is really cool. So I'm going to let this guy kind of sit, and we're going to work on getting more bees. Now, we can make more dragon eggs. Dragon eggs are actually craftable with magic bees. We'll need Essence of Fake Life, which is pretty easy to get. We just need some sort of soul bee. And then Draconic Chunks, which requires Draconic Bees, which the Abandoned Bee is the one, Oblivion and Nameless. Nameless is Ethereal, which I think we already have. Yeah, because we needed it for the Earthen, right? For the Skystone. Yeah. So we already have Ethereal Bees and then Oblivion. So we have some Oblivion Bees. We can make more, I do believe. So that's not a problem. So we're going to let these guys run for a little bit. Let's get some more automation upgrades. And so long as we don't kill anything, which I don't think we will, it shouldn't matter. So let's make 2 more of these guys. That'll take a second. We can put this stuff away. And yeah, so we have not only farmable Dragon Hearts. Again, it's a little bit of a pain. I'm probably going to work towards the Dragon Egg just because it'll be easier. But yeah, this is 100% something we can do to get all of the Dragon Hearts that we might need. It's just, again, a little bit of a pain to do. So let's get these guys going. So what do we want to do from here on out? I guess, let's see, what can we use the Draconium dust for? Smelting it. Does a smeltery give us more? No. So this is something that is 100% 1-to-1 ratios. So can we get, let's get 4 blocks of awakened Draconium. So we need more charged Draconium. That's right. We need to automate that. Which isn't that difficult. It's just kind of a pain because it's going to use up all of our power if we're not careful. So what do we want to do for the rest of today's episode? We can make 3 of these guys. I was thinking about making our first Draconic Flux Capacitor, but that seems incredibly expensive, so I don't think we're going to do that yet. Let's go ahead and put this stuff away. So, proof of concept, that's kind of the bigger thing here. So, I will tell you guys what. Why don't we take a really short break, and then I will figure out kind of the next thing to do, what I want to do next, and we'll come back and finish up this episode with something else. So, I will be right back. Alright, so after a little bit of consideration and thought, I think I know what I want to do. So, we're not ready to do anything with getting the capacitor banks, or flux capacitors, there we go, that's what they're called. We're not quite ready to do this yet. Big reason is this is going to require a lot of awakened Draconium, a lot of charged Draconium, which we're going to need to kind of do things with this, which, speaking of which, now that that's fully charged, is this stuff all, yeah. By the way, I've also, I had this guy working for a little bit. We got a good bit of diamond, which is really nice. Diamonds are something that we're going to need a lot of going forward. But since we have that, let's get the Draconium. So there's 4 blocks of Draconium. Let's see if we can't charge these. And then later we can have automation with this guy. So that's still really slow, but it's better. This guy is getting basically 500,000 RF per tick. So this isn't too bad. Now the problem is we can only do so many of these at once. So we're going to need to up power considerably. If we, oh my god, this is draining so quickly. If we want this to kind of be well, more permanent. Because these guys require what? A lot of power? What is that? Make some commas. That is 100 million RF. So something we might want to do is make a giant big reactor. And power that. That is really expensive, but I mean, that's a consideration for in the near future, just so we can get plenty of power and plenty of power storage. But yeah, so I'm gonna need to kill a lot of dragons just so we can get the amount of Draconium that we need and all that fun stuff. You guys kind of get the idea with that. That's gonna be some grinding this off camera, but I figured, you know, something to make it easier would be to get the Staff of Power from Draconic Evolution, which is a lot of Awakened Draconium, but it's also a lot of unstable ingots. And as we saw earlier with the cryostabilized flux ducts, we're going to need some unstable ingots to make those as well. So I figured, you know what, rather than being risky and using our Division Sigil to make really like bad things. Okay. The explodey ones are not fun. 10 seconds is very nerve-wracking. Having to do it in a vanilla crafting table is really, really, really nerve-wracking. Unstable ingots are not fun. We could alternatively use the semi-stable nuggets to make stable, unstable ingots, or we could just upgrade the Division Sigil. We're going to do the latter. We're going to upgrade the Division Sigil. That will make Mobius stable, unstable ingots, or something like that. I don't remember what they're called. But in order to do this, I wonder, can I do this in the overworld? I believe shift right clicking on a beacon will tell us things. Stabilization. Too much natural earth. So I think we have to go to the end and all that fun stuff. I mean, we could look it up, but I can just tell you guys what it is. So basically it's a big complicated ritual which ends in having to kill a bunch of mobs, and in order to do this stuff we're gonna need a bunch of items for different things, different tributes. So there is water, earth, air, and fire. For example, fire is things that you can smelt. You need X number of items of it. I think it's like 10 or 12 items that are smeltable. There's a list and it's all vanilla stuff. So I'm going to get a lot of that stuff together off camera. We'll get to that later. Water is so many of the potions, vanilla potions. That'll be pretty easy. We have a good number of potions as it is, so that'll be easy enough. We'll just pick out some potions that we're not going to use, and that'll be that. The earth requires different things that are naturally generated stuff, so stone, dirt, actually I don't know if dirt is one, but like ores are options, clay, that kind of stuff. So again, I will pull up that stuff later, but the one that's difficult, which you may have gotten a guess at, is, well, music discs. We can't make these. There is a villager that supposedly trades them, but it seems to be pretty uncommon, if not impossible in this, because that is a config file thing that you can change. There is a villager from, I don't know if it's, I'm not entirely sure what mod it's coming from, but it's the King-ish. Let's see if we can get one to spawn. I actually had really good luck. I had a couple spawn pretty quickly, but they were giving me oh, whatchamacallits. Actually, I want to see what the red guys give. Of course, now it's not going to give me anything. Alright, so, yeah, of course. Let's just go ahead and kill all these guys. I don't even care about... There's some bee people. There we go. There's a King-ish. So, also, librarian. Hedrick, what do you have? Oh, okay, so you're just one focus stuff. That's cool. So the King-ish. So let's just shoot a couple. We'll just be careful about who we shoot. Hedrick, go away. The King-ish. There we go. He trades note blocks. And supposedly he might trade other things, but I couldn't get it to happen. So we're not going to go that route. The only other route that I'm aware of in this mod pack, because unfortunately something that we could use to get at least 2, the lunium, is not craftable. There is no recipe for the lunium. It is disabled because, well, it gives you dungeon loot. That would be a really easy source of iridium, and that's bad for reasons. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to make some new flowers and use them to cause, well, chaos, basically. We're going to have to go through this the vanilla way. And that means skeletons killing creepers. Now, we need to get a creeper first of all, and I want to get a creeper that is hopefully not super strong. So let's grab a safari net. We're going to get a safari net. And rather than trying to get a creeper to come in... Wait, why did it do that? I didn't hold shift. There we go. Rather than getting a creeper to come in, you know, normal ways, we're just gonna grab some gunpowder, and we're gonna try this the B way, because why not? So yeah, we have to get all 12 vanilla music discs, and that's gonna be a pain. So we have gunpowder. We can come over here and drop that. There's a creeper. Perfect. So we're gonna punch the creeper and try to get him down to like 1 hit. Was he at? He's at 3.5 hearts. There we go, 1 heart. That's... Don't blow up. Cool. So we now have a creeper at 1/2 heart, which is really nice. And what we can do is we can summon in a bunch of creepers that are all 1/2 heart. Now we're going to want another safari net, I think. No, we have a skeleton, but I'd rather get... Let's get another safari net. And I don't know why I'm doing it that way. We'll get a single bone. And again... really nice and easy way. I really like these bees. Really nice and easy way to get various like mobs really easily. So he's gonna shoot at us. He's also on fire. That doesn't matter too much. We'll not worry about that. So we have a creeper. We have a skeleton. We can spawn in a bunch of creepers using our mob spawner, and then all we need to do is get them to attack each other. But here's the thing, there's 2 things. We need to get them to attack each other, and we need to prevent the creeper from exploding. I don't want the creeper to explode at all, because if the creeper explodes, then we are going to have the issue of it's going to kill the skeleton and the other creepers as well, which is not what we want. So that is where we look at Botania. Botania has the flowers just for us. So the first one we're going to need is the Hey Say Dream, which will make mobs turn against each other. It's not too bad. We're going to need a Rune of Wrath. Alright, let's see what all we need to grab. We're going to need a Wrath Rune. We're going to need some seeds. 2 seeds, please. And what else do we need? We need 2 magenta, a purple, and a pink. 2 magenta, a purple, and a pink. 1 pink. And then the last thing is some pixie dust, which we have. Awesome. So this is easy enough. To grab a bucket and let's turn off our magnet. So let's just drop this stuff in here, and it'll make the Hey Say Dream. Cool. So this is the first step. The second step we need is we need a tiger's eye. And let's look at the Botania again. Lexica Botania. So if we look at this guy, it talks about cats. So the tiger's eye exploits the weakness of creepers from cats, preventing them from exploding and make them run away from players. We don't care about that. We'll just kind of stand away. So we need a Rune of Autumn and then some petals. So we have a Rune of Autumn. I can make more runes later if we need to. But we need yellow, brown, orange, and lime. So we just need the brown, and that's that. So this is easier than I expected. So we'll drop this stuff in here, and we have the tiger's eye. Cool. Now we are going to need to give them some mana. So we want some living rock to make another mana pool, and we're going to want some dirt, and then we're going to want did we ever make that monocle thing? No. We'll look in that soon enough. We're going to want the tablet, this guy. So we also need our wand of the forest. We shouldn't need the lexica currently, anyways. So this will, hey, oh my gosh. Let's get some mana. We have a mana pool, we have the dirt, so we can place all this stuff down. Won't be too much of a problem. I don't know how much mana it's actually going to use, so we're not going to use a full little bit of it, but there's one last thing that I want to try to get, and that is the, what is it called? Mana Seer Monocle. I believe that's what we want. Let's get the book again and make sure. So there is an item that will allow us to see, is it going to be in here? No, it's going to be in this, yeah. When someone is wearing this monocle and look at a flower, they'll able to see its functional radius. That is what I want. So we want a Mana Seer monocle. Luckily, these things are really cheap. We just need a piece of mana steel, and that's it. So we'll get this going. There's the mana steel. You can hear it in, underneath, and we get this nice monocle. So we'll need to equip it. It gives us a cool little effect. But now when we look at, let's see, none of these guys are going to be super good, but like this guy, we can see its effective range. These guys don't really have ranges, so they are different. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come in here, and I guess let's put both flowers down, and so long as their range is within said room, who cares? We can then put this down, and we can go ahead and switch back to this guy. Drop that in there, and the last thing we need to do, we need to put the creeper in here, exact copy, and we'll put the skeleton in here. So skeleton, and presumably I wish this one had a little bit more windows. We'll get some creepers spawning. They won't explode. The skeleton will shoot them. Oh, right. We've got to do the last thing. I forgot to bind it. Alright. Let's turn that off. Capture you. Kill creeper. You don't know about that. Alright, so now they do. Alright, so we'll do that. Put you down. Get out of there. Ow. And presumably there is our first record. And the skeleton is now dumb. Alright, so as soon as we get more creepers spawning in, the creepers won't explode. Hey, creepers. That was actually probably really good. What is it? Oh. So the creepers are completely innocuous. They won't do anything. Stop going after me. So, as long as the skeleton, like, shoots the creepers, we'll start getting all the records. Alright, let's turn that off for a second. I don't know what is the skeleton's problem, but we're gonna go grab a new one. Put an arrow down. And yeah, this is weird. So hopefully this skeleton is a little bit smarter. But we'll put you right there. Get out of there as soon as possible. Please forget about me. He's not gonna forget about me unless I get away. So let's get away. And this is working decently well. If the skeleton would just do his job and kill the creepers. Alright, so for whatever reason, you know what? Let's try it this way. No. This is really weird with the creepers not really caring about us. Alright, so let's get out of here. And we'll spawn in more skeletons. And we'll hang up here so that hopefully... we are running out of mana fairly quickly. That is something I was worried about. So... it doesn't seem to be working anymore. Go ahead and kill the creeper. Hey. Why aren't you guys, like, attacking me? There we go. You know what? Whatever works. There we go. If that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. Anyways, we've got a couple of things now. This flower seems to use a lot more mana than this guy, which is good. The creepers, we don't want them to explode at all. But I think we have another music disc. Let's see if we do. Yes. So I've got, what, 5 of the 12 that we're going to need. So not too bad. So I'm going to continue working on getting the rest of these guys. I might farm the dragon a couple times, but we're going to work towards trying to get the pseudo-inversion sigil, which will give us what we need in terms of like stable, unstable ingots, so we can make the cryo-stabilized flux ducts, as well as making all of the good draconic weapons. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. A lot of fun with the bees. This is why I like bees. Bees are so much fun once you get the good ones. Getting the good ones is a tedious task, but once you do, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!